What is up, Texas Longhorns fans? It's IndyCar Timm here with the Longhorns Daily Blitz for Saturday. It is September 28th. It is post-game edition, Mississippi State Bulldogs. Welcome into FanStream Sports, fanstreamsports.com, as well as the FanStream Sports mobile app, FanStream Sports TV, which is our YouTube channel. Make sure you give us a subscribe. Click on that bell to get all the great notifications for our content over there, as well as if you're listening to the recorded podcast on your favorite podcast app, give us a subscribe and leave us a great review. We'd love to have you wherever it is you listen to the Longhorns Daily Blitz on FanStream Sports. Well, it wasn't a perfect day for the Longhorns. By far, it wasn't a perfect day by the Longhorns, but they get the win in their first ever SEC tilt. Couldn't have come against a better team, I guess. The Mississippi State Bulldogs struggling a little bit this year, not having the best season. So the Longhorns and Arch Manning made quick work of them, but again, mistakes were made. This was not a flawless performance by the number one team in the nation. But despite all of that, the Longhorns were able to coast their way to a 35-13 win over Mississippi State. They moved to 1-0 in SEC play. And if you guys have paid any attention to Georgia-Alabama on Saturday night, which is in action right now, they'll maintain that number one ranking and probably have a new number two right behind them if things progress the way it looks like they will there against Georgia, with Georgia and Alabama playing. But after the hot start, the Longhorns marched right down the field for an easy touchdown, taking a 7-0 lead on the first possession of the game. But after that, problems started happening. The Horns had 8 penalties for 65 yards as a team. They turned the ball over twice on Jaden Blue fumbles, who looks like he was benched in the game for that. He had a curious decision on fourth down where the Horns could have easily covered the spread, but things took far too long to show itself here. The game was just too close for too long. 14-6 at the half should never be a score that the Longhorns against an opponent like Mississippi State. It just should never be that. The run defense for the Longhorns was also uncharacteristically bad. I don't want to say bad. Just they weren't themselves. And that's pretty much what helped the Bulldogs stay alive in this game was the run game. But, yes, the Longhorns, despite their best efforts to shoot themselves in the foot and to lose to Mississippi State in their first ever SEC game, there was plenty of positives here. The biggest positive, of course, Arch Manning lit the Bulldogs defense up 26-31 for 324 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran for 33 yards and another touchdown. And then one of the biggest benefactors of Manning's day, DeAndre Moore, had 103 yards on 4 catches with 2 touchdowns. The Longhorns somehow managed 522 yards of total offense, including 198 on the ground. But the Bulldogs were able to rush for 150 of their own and added 19 first downs to that. It was a little bit ugly there for a while. But regardless, Arch Manning looked good. The offense looked good after they got started there a little bit, regardless of the fumbles. Jaden Blue will be certainly working on that here this week as the Longhorns prepare for the Sooners now as conference rivals for the first time, well, in the SEC. So there you go. That will take place, of course, at the Texas State Fair, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, live from the Cotton Bowl. And that will be on either ABC or ESPN. Don't know which network will be airing that necessarily right now. But we will check in with it later here this week. We will enjoy some NFL football tomorrow. We will enjoy Georgia, Alabama for the rest of the evening. And we will talk Texas Longhorns football with you guys here later in the week as we preview Oklahoma, maybe talk a little bit more about Mississippi State and the first ever SEC game for the Texas Longhorns. Victorious. We will take the win. You always take the win. 35-13 over the Bulldogs. We'll always take the win. We will come back to you again, as I mentioned early in the week, with some Oklahoma stuff for you. Give me a shout out on social media at IndyCar Timm on the X and on Threads. We'd love to hear from you about this game or any other Longhorn stuff you want to chit chat about. Till then, boys and girls, we'll see you.